John Lewis, Stokely Carmichael, Lil Bobby Hutton, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Fannie Lou Hamer, Ida B. Wells, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King. To them, I say Ashe. They are known for putting boots on the ground. I would like to say Ashe to two of our comrades that made their transition. Queen V of the Baton Rouge, Louisiana chapter. Ashe. Kevin Brassfield of the Yazoo City, Mississippi chapter. Ashe. In 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated. And this upset Bobby Seals. He went out in the community asking people, where is Huey? During the same time, a young black, unarmed, 15-year-old male was shot and killed by the police in Cincinnati. His name was Matthew Johnson. Also, in 1965, there was a Watts riot, which made the people mad at the police. In 1966, Stokely Carmichael led people to Lowndes County, Alabama, where they held a voter registration drive. Not one single black person was registered to vote. But on this particular day, over 80% of the people got registered to vote. Stokely Carmichael is the first person that said Black Power at a march in Greenwood, Mississippi. Also, this is the day that the Panthers adopted the Panther symbol. Also, in 1966, October 15th, the original Black Panther Party was established in Oakland, California by two college students, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. They wanted to find solutions to problems that they were facing in their community. Some of the same problems we're facing today in our community, like police brutality and the murdering of black people. So they organized a group of armed citizens to patrol and protect their neighborhood. Their first maneuver was policing the police. The police brutality and the murdering of black people went down. They implemented over 50-something social programs. They started what we now call today the WIC program. They had free clothing banks, free food banks, free medical clinic service. They even had their own ambulance service. Now that's Black Power. The number one program that they was most famous for was the free breakfast program. This program started out local. This program went national. This program fed 10,000 of children daily. Not only did this program inspire the government, it threatened the government as well. It inspired the government because they was feeding the kids breakfast. It threatened the government because not only was they feeding them breakfast, they was feeding their minds, they was teaching them knowledge. And this is something that the government did not want. So J. Edgar Hoover declared them public enemy number one. The program slowly began to decline. Some were infiltrated, some were jailed, some were shut down by COINTELPRO, and some are still on the run today. Black Power. In 1989, Dr. Huey P. Newton made his transition. To that brother, I would like to say Ashe. In 1987, the new Black Panther Party was founded in Dallas, Texas by Aaron Michaels doing groundwork in his community. There was a crack epidemic. The federal government and the Ronald Reagan administration helped brought crack into the country. And they distributed where?
In the black communities?
In the black communities. So a group of sisters and brothers trying to clean up their neighborhood got organized, and they started patrolling their own neighborhood. They were all black because it was a night operation. People asked if they were Panthers, but at that time they wasn't. In 1998, Dr. Khalid Muhammad steps on the scene. He led a group of armed Panthers to Jasper, Texas to confront the KKK behind the dragging and beheading death of James Byrd. Over 33 chapters opened up overnight. In 2001, Dr. Khalid Muhammad made his transition To that brother, I would like to say Ashe.
I say.
He left us with our Black Power manual. We don't follow no man, we don't follow no woman. We follow our manual. Black Power.
Black Power.
In 2001, Malik Shabazz became the national chair. He held the national chair position from 2001 to 2013. He held the national chair position the longest. To that brother, I would like to say Black Power.
Black Power.
Also, in 2013, there was a split in the national organization. Hashim Nzinga became the national chairman from 2013 to 2020 until he made his transition. To that brother, I would like to say Ashe.
Ashe.
Also, Crystal Muhammad became the national chairlady over her national organization. She is currently today still the national chairlady over her national organization. To that queen, to that sister, I would like to say Black Power.
Black Power.
Black Power. In 2018, the Southern Regional New Black Panther Party was founded in Houston, Texas by Commander Brother Travis Raines, our Chief of Staff, Brother Gerald Justice. I would like to give them both a prosperous Black Power, Black Love. We are the Southern Regional New Black Panther Party. We cover the areas of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Revolutionary means complete, constructive change. We are the vanguards for our people, and we're fighting for the freedom and liberation of our people. Black Power.
Black Power.
We operate on a 10-point program platform and our 9 local objectives. Number 1, we want freedom. Number 2, we want full employment. We demand the dignity to do for ourselves what we have begged the white man to do for us. Number 3, we want tax exemptions and an end to robbery of the black nation by capitalism. Number 4, we want decent housing, fit for shelter, and free health care. Number 5, we want education for our people that teaches them the true history. Number 6, we want all black men and women to be exempt from military services. Number 7, we want immediate end to police harassment, brutality, and the murdering of black people and black-on-black crimes. Number 8, we want freedom for all political prisoners held in international, federal, state, local jails and prisons. Number 9, we want all black men and women, when brought to trial, to be tried in a court by a jury of their own peers. Number 10, we want an end to the racist death penalty. Black Power.
Black Power.
Black Power.
Black Power.
We also operate on our 9 local objectives. Number 1, to develop a Black Power movement. Number 2, to develop Black Power through education. Number 3, to develop and defend economic power. Number 4, to develop and defend political power. Number 5, to enforce accountability and law enforcement. Number 6, to defend black youth. Number 7, to reclaim black neighborhoods. Number 8, to defend black rights in general. Number 9, we want local reparations. Black Power, Black Love.
Black Love.
Now, I would like to tell y'all how I got started when I became a member of the Southern Regional New Black Panther Party. It was a prison rally here at this park. This is the same park I played at when I was a little girl. I stayed like 2 streets over. This is the same park I had to be at home before the street lights came on. But anyway, there was a prison rally here, and the Panthers was here. They was organized, they was in uniform, and I wanted to join. But I was the type of person that was shy. I stood back and let everybody else did the talking. All I did was listen, look and listen. So it was a lady sitting beside me named Lisa. I said, Lisa, go up there and ask them what we got to do to become a member of the Panthers. She said, what? I said, yeah, I want you to go up there and ask them, but I'm going to go with you, but I'm going to stand back. So she went up there and she asked them, and a lady by the name of Sister April, she said, all you got to do right now is fill out your registration. So that's what I started to do. I got me an application. And I walked to a table that was sitting over there on that basketball court. I had my uncle on my left side, and I had my brother on my right side, Anthony. My brother was on my right side. My uncle said, "Niece, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm finna become a Panther." He said, "No, niece, you don't need to become a Panther." And my brother said, "Don't try to discourage her, let her join." So my uncle said, "Niece, I'm telling you, this is dangerous. You can get killed." I looked my uncle in the eyes and I said, I want to join. And so today, I'm still standing. And so that next day when I got out of work, my uncle called me. He said, "Niece, come by my house." So I immediately went by his house. And he said, "Let me tell you, you need to change your mind." I said, "Unc, my mind made up." And plus my brother had told my unc, it don't matter. If you try to tell her not to join, she gonna do the opposite of what you telling her anyway. Black power.
Black power.
And my brother told my uncle, my sister is one of the strongest black women I know. Black power.
Power.
So today, I'm still standing. 2 years, 11 months. I came in January 12th is my anniversary day. I share my anniversary day with Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Birthday. It was his birthday. Black power. A day that I will never forget. A day that changed my life. Also, I've been in the medical field for 29 years. And I had the opportunity to travel to Shreveport, Louisiana. And it really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. It was a black man. He was shot 25 times or more. When they started working on him, they was counting the bullet holes. When they made it to 25, they said, "We can stop counting." And that right there just really done something to me. It let me know that it was something greater for me to do. I need to keep pushing forward. I need to keep going because I know that my gift is helping people. And so I've been doing that for a long time now. And I'm also with a bail bondsman. I bond people out of jail. So I'm just used to being with people and helping people. Black power.
Black power.
So I am thankful today that y'all came out to be with us. And we would like to let y'all know that we really appreciate y'all. Black power, black love. At this time, I will have Brother Baba Lakata to come forward.
Yeah, good job.
Let's give that sister some love, y'all.
No doubt.
It's a beautiful thing being around African people. And anytime I am around African people, I like to open up with a salutation that is African. So I'm just going to say Barayaku. And the response to Barayaku is simply Asante. Barayaku. Barayaku.
Asante.
Barayaku.
Asante.
All right. It's good to be around African people. My name is Asania Lukata Jakul. I am the chairman of the National Election Commission for the Republic of New Africa. So we always say, free the land, free the land, free the land, free the land, free the land,
Free the land.
by any means necessary. And so what we talk about when we say free the land, we're saying if you free your mind, what'll happen? If you free your mind, your ass will follow. You free your mind, your ass will follow. So when we say free the mind, we say let's free our mind so our ass will follow. Now where are we trying to go? That becomes the question. Where are we trying to go? Right? Now, when we look at what's been happening to African people in this country, and it's reflective of what's been happening across the world. But we'll just deal with what's been happening in this country. When we look at what's been happening in this country, we realize that Carter G. Woodson gave us a lesson of what was going on when he told us if you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. Right. You don't have to tell him to go to the back door. You don't have to tell him to stand here, stand yonder. Because you control his mind, he gonna already know where he's supposed to be. Right? And then so what we have to understand is what he was telling us is that the most dangerous thing in America is an educated black man. Right? But he's not dangerous to black folks. Or let me say this, he shouldn't be dangerous to black folks. But because of our mindset, right now, we understand what's the most dangerous job for a black man right now? Being a rapper. Right now, the most dangerous thing in the world for a black man is being a rapper. Why? Because he's promoting death, not only to others, but to himself. Look at how many of our young brothers and some sisters we're losing because of the nonsense that they're spewing. So the industry, what? Controls their mind. Not just control their mind, but also is controlling their mouth. And so when we talk about what's happening right now in this country, we know what has happened historically, but when we talk about what's happening right now, we have to have a plan of action to create revolution. What is revolution? Change. Hey, what is it? What is revolution? Change. We have to have a plan to create revolution. And the change that we need to see is a change of the mindset of our young brothers and sisters who are spewing nonsense. And they paying for it with their lives. So, when we say free your mind, and your ass will follow, we're saying let's get with these young brothers. Particularly, let's get with these young brothers and give them something else to rap about. Right? I mean, right now, all they're doing is what they know. Right? If you don't know no better, you can't do better. So we got to give them something better. We have to give them something better, and then they have to see. They have to see the benefit of that betterness, right? They have to realize that being African is the best blessing that you can get from the Creator, right? Because if you realize that you're an African, you realize that you are the mother and the father of civilization. You realize that you come off the richest continent on the planet. Not what was the richest continent, but what is the richest continent on the planet. And when you become African, then you want to reclaim what's yours. When you become African, you want to reclaim what's yours. So we have to give them their Africanness, which is one of the things, probably the major thing that was stolen from them. Now, I also work with the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America, and they say that they stole 5 basic things from us, right? They stole our knowledge, right? Education. They miseducated us tremendously. Through miseducation and misinformation, they got us going in a circle. So that's one of the ways that we've been injured. We've also been injured in terms of how we take care of ourselves, our health and our wellness. It's just out of control. So that's 2 of the ways that we've been injured. They also say that our concept of justice is totally skewed, right? The criminal injustice system, y'all call it the criminal justice system, but that's what they taught y'all to say. But it's actually a criminal injustice system, right? And we have no idea, we have no real concept of what justice really looks like, because the only way we see justice is what they showed us. So that's the 3rd way. The 4th way is trying to understand the difference between wealth and power, right? What they say, a fool and his money, what happened? What's going to happen to a fool and his money? It's soon parted. We have no concept of what wealth is. We got a lot of rich folks, right? People with a few dollars, but we don't have very many wealthy people, right? So we gotta be able to understand that we have been broken in terms of our concept of wealth. And then finally, and most importantly, we've been broken in terms of our African identity, in terms of having a nation of our own. Right? Now, I know you heard it said that we're a nation within a nation. You heard it said that if we realize that we'd be the 9th greatest nation on the planet economically, right? All of that. I know y'all have heard all about that. But it's time for that nation within that nation to come the hell out of that nation. Did you hear me? It's time for that nation in that nation to come the hell out of that nation and claim what is rightfully yours. And what's rightfully yours is being an African. That's the greatest gift God has given you. You just have to realize it. And then once you realize it, they say to know better is to do better. If you know it, it becomes your obligation to bring another brother along, to bring another sister along, in order to change the condition of African people. Free the land? Free the land. Free the land.
Free the land.
Free the land.
Free the land.
By any means necessary.
Black power.
Black power.
Let's give him a black power. He drove all the way from Jackson, Mississippi. Black power.
Power.
Next, we will have Mr. Muhammad from Hollis, Memphis, Tennessee. Black power.
Black power.
Assalamu alaikum. We good, man. Because we're among family.
We are. Yes, sir.
Okay. I feel completely secure looking at the soldiers of the revolution in the face. Please allow me to begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I bear witness to the oneness of God, to the oneness of His prophets, to the oneness of the scriptures that were revealed through them, to the whole of humanity. I bear witness that there is but one God, regardless of the name or language that people use. We understand that people of different faiths and different schools of thought, if you will, refer to God by a name different than that of Allah. We honor and respect whatever name you call Him, because as spiritually mature people, we should understand that God makes Himself known according to the language and culture of the people among whom He raises His prophets, His messengers, and His warners. Please allow me to greet you as a student of the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Of course, you all know those words mean, may peace be unto you.
Peace.
Today, brothers and sisters, I really want to just speak from the heart. And my heart is full. I thank Almighty God, Allah, for touching my life through a human being that taught me self-love. And that love has intensified to the degree that I am prepared to give all that I have, including my life, to see my people free. Because what else are you going to do with your life? You're going to spend it doing something. Notice how I said the word spend your life like you spend money. The question is, what are we going to spend it doing? As I looked at the flyer, first before I go there, let me thank you, Sister Yolanda, for your invitation. And Brother Lorenzo, who I've been trying to get down here to see for some time. It's an honor to be here. And I pray that what we share and what I say will be beneficial to us all and to serve, to keep us on the path towards liberation. Point number 6 is what I saw on the flyer: to develop and to protect our youth. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has made it clear to us that the generation of black people that our enemies are most afraid of is what they call Generation X, or this current generation of 18 to 36ers. Why are they afraid of them? It is because they are the generation of change. They are that generation that our ancestors prayed for, that would not fear massa. And they are fearless. They don't quake. They challenge everything that they perceive to be negative or not in their best interest. Well, the enemy recognizes you, young brother and young sister. They know what they're looking at. Because as my sister mentioned earlier, they know what they're looking at. Because as my sister mentioned earlier and earlier and earlier. Question: why did they use biblical language in reference to black people? What is it about the sacred text, Bible and Quran? Many of your presidents of this country were Shriners. Shriners are students of the original Bible, and once they get to their 33rd degree, they get into Quran. What has this country and its leadership been able to mine out of Scripture that's relevant to their once slave and still their slave? That they would use biblical language in reference to us, that they would prevent the rise of a Messiah. That is because they expect a Messiah from among us. Not a Messiah to be worshiped. Not a Messiah to be an object or an idol for us to bow to. But a Messiah in the sense that his person, his work, his character is to be multiplied in all of us. They feared that that kind of voice and that kind of persona among black people will serve as the spark to reproduce many men and women like that one. So they understood that anybody that could electrify and unify the black nationalist movement to that voice, they knew they would be facing another Mau Mau. Y'all should know who the Mau Mau is. That's them brothers that they named the movie Friday the 13th after. That's why white folks don't like the number 13, because it was on a Friday on the 13th that they met the Mau Mau, and we cut their heads off and stacked them in the form of pyramids to let them know, don't come this way with that. But today's youth is what they feel. And they feel you, young brothers, because of your fearlessness. So this is why we see in popular culture the weaponization of hip-hop music. In the history of hip-hop music, it started, if you understand and know that history, as music that spoke to the struggle of black people. And that music took on that change right at 1980 in the wake of the Jack the Rapper convention that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan spoke to the cultural community and petitioned them to put wisdom in the music. So first you heard dang diddy dang diddy dang diddy dang diggy diggy, right? It was party. And around 1980 you heard this. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Broken glass everywhere. Y'all remember? The enemy was listening because they understood the power, because prior to that, when you go back to the 70s and 60s, you had the Temptations, you had the OJs. How can you call me brother? Right? Runaway child running wild. You better go back home where you belong. They brought disco and supplanted that music with the Bee Gees and the White Boys and Donna Summer and Boogie Boogie Boogie. Not struggle, 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 but boogie, boogie, boogie. They thought they had killed the culture of black people, the art and cultural community. So along comes rap music. And the spark that changed it to soul-feeding music was the Jack the Rapper convention. So hence, hip-hop, conscious hip-hop is born. So you hear Grandmaster Flash, you hear X-Clan, you hear Boogie Down Productions putting wisdom in the music. But then here comes gangster rap. So you, instead of having Queen Latifah, notice how they changed our system? You had the conscious ones, young people. All of a sudden comes NWA, niggas with attitudes. They had a group of sisters called H's with an attitude and B's with problems. This is the early 90s. And they changed because they understood if that conduit of hip hop is allowed unfettered into the ears of the youth, they were looking at another Malcolm. They was looking at another generation of young people that they didn't want to face. So today, you see hip hop has been weaponized against young people. They have popularized thuggery and murder and ops of self. This goes back to the old caricatures that they created to identify black men. You had the old caricature of Jim Coon, and then you had the caricature of Zip or Bully Coon. And Jim Coon was the silly, foolish caricature among black men. And Zip or Bully Coon was the one that carried the razor that slashed all of the other brothers and sisters, but he never raised his razor to the white man. That's right. The razor has been replaced by an AK-47 and an SKS. So what I'm saying to us young brothers, the weaponization of hip hop and the music they promote has produced or turned the generation of promise into a population of zip coons. Don't be offended, listen. Because we bully one another, but we don't raise the razor to your enemy.
That's right. That's right.
Because he's the alpha male. You got the alpha, the beta, the gamma, the delta, the epsilon, 5 of the species of men. We're the epsilon right now. We're the least threatening male. And like Zip Coon, we manifest our alpha masculinity on one another. But we don't, as a epsilon male, attack the alpha male.
That's right.
So when we posture like we're alpha males, no, we're actually an epsilon male exercising our alpha that's been suppressed on another epsilon male. So how do we fix it? How do we change it? Our dear brother and friend, and you will find his analogy in this current issue of the Final Call newspaper. And I'm familiar with this. In Pilanesberg Park, South Africa, the scientists had relocated a whole lot of juvenile elephants and put them in Pilanesberg Park with predominantly or really exclusively female elephants. And the juvenile elephants and the female elephants lived in the same sanctuary in South Africa. This is reality. This actually happened. Well, when they observed them, they realized they started finding dead rhinos. And they couldn't understand why. They started finding the juvenile elephants fighting amongst one another. They didn't understand why. Even the female elephants stopped nurturing the young ones and stopped their motherly duties and just pretty much laid around all day. Well, just like when something's a problem in the ecosystem, the white man's answer is always go kill it. Go kill it. Get rid of it. But one of the scientists had an idea. He said, why don't we go back to the park we airlifted the juveniles from, see if we can find some of the adult male elephants. They went back and they found some of the adult male elephants, and they airlifted some of them to Pilanesberg Park where the juvenile and the female elephants were. Guess what happened? The adult male elephants put the juvenile elephants in check. They stopped fighting amongst one another. They stopped killing the rhinos, and the rhino population began to flourish. And even the female elephants got from under the shade trees and picked back up their motherly duties. How does that relate to us?
Yes, sir.
Our juveniles are running through the neighborhood doing what?
Yes, sir.
Killing who? One another. Right? Our households are predominantly held or led by who? The female. So in short, the black man needs to go back and put the juvenile in check. Well, how do you put him in check? Because see, he ain't trying to hear no whole lot of preaching, no whole lot of talk. We got to show him how. We got to lead by example. We have to do what we say we're going to do. We have to make our word bond. We got to make what we say a reality. And this is our charge, coming from our leader and teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the most consistent voice that there has been among black people since the late 70s, when he stood back up to build the work of his teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And to this day, they're doing the same thing they've always done to us. You see it being played out between Ye and Kyrie Irving.
Appreciate the lights.
You seeing the same thing, brothers and sisters? The white man don't change his strategy. When you do or say something that he doesn't like, and what Ye and Kanye are talking about is some very serious business. Because when you identify the true people of God, that has geopolitical implications. And I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to say that again, brothers and sisters. When you talk about reparations and free the land, what Ye and Kyrie lifted has geopolitical implications. And this is why members of the Jewish community, they've gone crazy. Pay attention to them. What are they so afraid of? What are they so afraid of? I tell you, go to NOI.org and listen to the 53-minute message from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Let's go listen at it. So brothers and sisters, as I get ready to take my seat, something was started in Coldwater, Mississippi just a few years ago. A good, wholesome, very, very important conversation about separation. We as black folk have not properly responded to our oppressors yet.
That's right.
We are appealing to a people who have clearly demonstrated that it is not within their heart to hear our appeal. Jesus said it in the Bible like this. In the book of John, the 8th chapter, between the verses 32 to 44, he's in a controversy with the Jews. And Jesus at a certain point says this to them: why is it that you don't understand my speech or hear my words? He answered this question. He says, because my word has no place in you. Meaning, no matter how much truth I tell, no matter how I appeal to your sensibilities, you simply not going to hear me because it's not in your heart to hear me. So why should we continue to appeal to a people who don't have it in their heart to hear us?
That's right.
This is what makes the conversation of separation absolutely necessary. For the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the best and only solution to the black-white problem is complete separation. Study history. God has never integrated the oppressed with his oppressor. He's always separated the two. When a man and a woman get a divorce, do they live in the same house or do they separate? They separate. So our sister Ava Muhammad came to Coldwater, Mississippi. May Allah be pleased with her. And she broached the conversation in the state of Mississippi. Our sister Ava Muhammad came to Coldwater, Mississippi. May Allah be pleased with her. And she broached the conversation in the state of Mississippi of separation. And as I have learned and listened at my brother Lumumba, I have to bear witness and agree with him. Mississippi, as I have learned and listened at my brother Lumumba, I have to bear witness and agree with him. Mississippi is ground zero and will ultimately be the epicenter for beginning the process of black people separating. I ain't talking about going back to no motherland of Africa. If you study history and sacred texts, the promised land, we standing on it. We're standing on it. And what the Muslims want on the back page of the paper that you will get today, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is demanding 8 states. Oh, they're going to give them to us in a few days. Y'all just keep watching the weather. And I would advise you listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You ain't got to believe a word he says. Just listen and watch. And pay attention to how white people respond to him. You tell the weight of a man by his enemies, not by his friends. And when you look at who has the greatest enemies in America today, it's got to be a heck of a thing. You're so afraid of what a man will say that you will ban him from all of your social media platforms. He's not telling you to kill yourself, take drugs, misuse your woman, or any of those things. He's telling us to unite and let's separate. And because of that conversation, he's identifying who are the real people of God that the promise of God is for. And because of that talk, he is public enemy, or world enemy, I should say, number 1. I pray that what I've said has been beneficial. Assalamu alaikum.
Black power.
Black power.
Let's give Brother Muhammad another black power.
Black power.
He drove all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. At this time, we'll have Brother Patrick Alexander, all the way from Coldwater, Mississippi. Black power.
Black power.
Thank you, Sister Yolanda. Brother Ivy, where you at? Sister Yolanda, where you go?
Right here.
That's Patrick Lumumba.
Okay.
That's Patrick Lumumba. All right? Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black goddamn power.
Black goddamn power.
Y'all didn't have to say that now. I'm just letting you know. But I want to say it. It felt good though, didn't it?
Yeah.
See, black power is a very intelligent assertion. It ain't just a rant. People run around hollering black power, black power, black power, Bob Lucado. That's a very intelligent assertion. I want y'all to know that. And you need to be able to defend it on a whim. When you're saying black power, be able to defend it on a whim. Now, I ain't come down here to be long, but we came to be strong. I'm writing a book presently, been writing it for about a year. The book is called Domesticated Labor, Liberation in the Birth Canal. Domesticated labor, liberation in the birth canal. What is a domesticated people? I'm talking about domesticated people. How do you know that we are domesticated people? It's a certain signs to let you know that we are domesticated people. Finna help us understand it. The way to recognize a domesticated people, Brother Abdul, you help me understand this. A domesticated people will have deified their oppressor's God. A domesticated people will have deified their oppressor's God. Another trait, characteristic of domesticated people. A domesticated people will have crafted religious ideologies and theologies of avoidance when it comes to their own liberation.
Say that again.
I'm gonna say it again.
Listen.
A domesticated people will have crafted a religious theology, ideology of avoidance when it comes to the liberation of their people. What they mean? It's simple. Where your preachers at?
They're going to avoid.
Look around. Where they at? Where your church members at? See, we do this all across the state. We didn't craft it Mississippi on the move. We're going all across the state. Talking in predominantly black townships, letting them know we coming, telling them what we're going to talk about. When we tell them what we want to talk about, they decide that they're not going to be there. We got to get to real talk. That's why you see who you see. You see who you see, Brother William. This happens all over the state. I heard my brother just said something. Said Mississippi is a very special place.
Yes, sir.
I come to find out that it really is. It really is. In 2003, in Chula, Mississippi, I was a younger man then, and I made my way from Coldwater, Mississippi to Chula, Mississippi to hear a man named Louis Farrakhan. He come down to Chula, Mississippi, and I made my way to Brother Farrakhan. I fought through the crowd. And I met him, I shook his hand face to face. I said, Brother Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan, I said, it's an honor to meet you. He looked me in my eyes and he told me, he said, no, brother. He said, it's an honor to meet you. Brother Farrakhan went on to say, in that particular speech that he made on behalf of a brother named Eddie Carter in Chula, Mississippi, he went on to say these words. He said, out of oppression, change comes. He said, out of the most oppression comes the most change. He said that black people in Mississippi have suffered more than any black people in this country. He said he's looking for something very special to come out of Mississippi. We got to think about that. He said he's looking for something very special to come out of Mississippi. Why? The sheer nature of our circumstances gonna precipitate that this right here begin to happen more and more. The black militias, the black organized strength, the black leaders, the black politicians, they supposed to be here. It's gonna precipitate that a special thing begin to happen in Mississippi. I'm gonna say this, another very well-respected barber by the name of James Small come here in the year 2018, and he talked to me in Coldwater, Mississippi. He told me, he said, Brother Patrick, have you ever understood ecology? I said, I understand the word, but I'm not sure I understand it on the level that you're trying to tell me. So he went on to tell me, he said that ecology is an organism relationship to its environment. And he said Mississippi is structured such that it's the Africa of the Western Hemisphere. He also said that if black people are gonna create any semblance of any type of nation building, it's probably gonna start in Mississippi. It's probably gonna start in Mississippi. These are signs. These are signs that have made it very clear to me that we're doing the right thing.
That's right.
So what we have begun to do is create the momentum, create the energy to push forward and begin to galvanize all over this state the process of nation building. We're talking about separation. We got to begin the process. It got to become practical application. But say this, and then I want to do something that I promised that I would do because I think the young brother deserves the opportunity to do it. It was a rabbit that went into a cafe. And the rabbit asked the cafe owners, he said, y'all got any carrots? They said, we ain't got no carrots in here. Get on out of here. The rabbit left, but he came back the next day. The rabbit asked the cafe owners again, he said, y'all got any carrots? He said, hey man, I told you yesterday we didn't have any carrots. Now, if you come in here again, ask for carrots, I'm gonna take that hammer and that nail and I'm gonna put it in your head. So he left. So he came back the next day. He said, hey, y'all got any hammers, any nails? He said, no. He said, well, do y'all have any carrots? The point I'm trying to make is that the structural constraints of racism, white supremacy is really not as strong as we think they are. It's really not as strong as we think they are. What we have to do is man up, just like the elephant. I love that. We gonna have to man up. Bashan, Lorenzo, Brother Shaheed, all of us gonna have to man up, Antonio. We're gonna have to get with them, Larry Macon. We're gonna have to get with these sisters. And we're gonna have to start organizing all across this state. We already working on it. See, I'm not really concerned about the whole thing that's going on with Kanye and Kyrie, because I think it's more pressing for us to be turning our attention to Jaheim them down here in Gulfport, Mississippi. See, I'm ready to practice what we call extreme legal. I'm ready to practice what we call extreme legal. Okay? And I know what they look like, and I know what they feel like now. Extreme legal. That means we're ready to push the parameters of the black community back into white supremacy land. Stop constricting us. Brother Vashawn, we're ready to push back the parameters of the black community. Give us some room to breathe. Give us some room to breathe. So it's gonna be organization that's gonna have to take place all over the state. So Mississippi on the Move is exactly what that is intended to do, to create that organization all over the state. Whether you be the Panther Party, whether you be the Black Liberation Movement, whether you be the Nation of Islam, whether you be Republic of New Africa, whatever it is, we all have to combine to deal with the structural constructs and constraints of white supremacy. And I'm tired of the conscious community. I'm tired of the conscious community. Knowledge pontificators, knowledge masturbators, non-practical applicators. Brothers tell me all the time, brother, talking about building the pyramids, how the pyramid was built, but you can't build a doghouse in your own town. See, that's a problem. That's a serious problem. I'm ready to get extreme legal about our business as black people. I'm ready to get extreme legal. The white man is very violent when it comes to controlling and maintaining his world. He's very violent, Brother Muhammad, William. How is the white man violent? The white man is violent in every area of human activity. Look at education. It's critical race theory, that's violent. Critical race theory is educational violence. The white man simply telling you can't teach that in my school that you pay for with your tax dollars. That's part of your ecology. Your tax dollars is part of your ecology. You paying for schools that you can't even teach your children the truth. I just went down here and we pushed back against the police in Gulfport. But I'm looking at a black mother named Katrina Mateen who paying taxes. The taxes pay salaries to police officers who kill your children. That's violent, man. It's time that black people push back with extreme legal. That means defend yourself. Prepare to defend yourself, not just militarily. We're gonna have to build institutions that teach in conjunction and conducive to where we want to go. It's not gonna happen unless we do. So this is what I want to do right now, because we got to build the next generation. And Yolanda, where she go? Okay, if you allow me, I just want to yield the rest of my time to this young brother right here, because this brother right here is very, very unique. We have scoured the state. I have not found one like him. I'm talking about his age bracket, that generation we talking about, what it's gonna look like. I have not found one like this one, right here. Everywhere I go, I can't hardly walk. Jahi, bag up. Let me move. You way more important than anybody out here. Your generation and what you represent is way more important than anybody out here and what they have to do, because we have to craft that generation. And I thank this young brother right here for coming all this way. And I'll be remiss if we did not give him the opportunity to say what's on his heart and what's on his mind. I've been watching him for 2 years now. And he's become a son to me. And if y'all don't mind, let Brother Jahi have a word to say. Y'all give him a hand.
Power and peace to everybody here. Before I speak, I'm from the elder. I say, yo. Some of y'all I met for 2 months prior to August 13th. We had Stop the Violence rally in Columbus. I gave a Declaration of Independence, a Declaration of Uhuru, to stop the violence and what we're willing to do to stop the violence. The string after that Declaration of Uhuru, a string of violence happened in West Point, Columbus, different surrounding areas. We family, so we gotta talk real today. What are we willing to do to organize an effective, conducive solution to stop the violence? How are we going to bring the communication from the community to the grassroots organizations? As you can see, we're the clergy, as my Bible, we're the clergy, we're the politicians, we're the school teachers, we're the uncles, we're Big Mama them, where is the leaders of the community? Where is the village at? So therefore, we gotta extend the communication from all grassroots organizations back to the community, and vice versa. This cannot be only the event that we do to have a plan. We gotta be effective and conducive. We gotta be out there. We gotta link up. This is a cadre, and that will happen in Gulfport, Mississippi. We had a cadre, Black Liberation Movement, Jerome Pratt Gun Club, Black Panther Party, a cadre of brothers, warriors, to step up for humanity, for our brother Jaheem. There was a cadre. When we moved, the scene changed.
That's right. That's right.
When they saw that cadre came in to move, the mindset shifted back to the gaze of revolution, not no party.
That's right.
And let it be known, we ain't Black Lives Matter, Black Liberation Movement. That's the difference right there. We ain't here to party, nor have entertain nothing. We're here to be effective and conducive.
That's right.
So when we moved in that scene, the mindset shifted back to Uhuru, back to our brother, back to really stepping for our people.
That's right.
That scene, the mindset shifted back to Uhuru, back to our brother, back to really stepping for our people.
That's right. That's right.
So therefore, that communication right there between the cadres will understood different. And one, we got to be the same way in our Black communities. The cadre got to be on one accord. We got to be on one accord. is a must. Now, two, it's still Mississippi. Things have not changed. It's still the SIP. Excuse my slang, but it's still the SIP. So therefore, we gotta be conducive and effective enough to embrace the communication from the community to the grassroots-oriented organizations. That is a must to be effective and conducive. We gotta be out there in the streets, how you put boots on the ground. But we all gotta be on one accord to do so. Mr. Mahmoud has been doing that. What state come in to sit down? And all we had seen, had surrounded, had been the same scene. Poverty, no hope. People overlooking the grassroots organization, not even hearing about the solution to help their community. The branch of communication of grassroots and the community has dissolved. Now it's up to our opportunity. It's our privilege. It's our honor from the ancestors to understand that protocol, to branch the communication from the grassroots into the community. So the clergyman should be here by now. The politicians should be here. The school teachers should be here. Down even to the janitor who mopped the floor in the schoolhouse should be here.
That's right.
We gotta branch the communication from the grassroots back to the community. The community should have a branch to us, the grassroots. Kwame Ture, our ancestors, they'll get a Declaration of Independence, of Uhuru, in Greenwood, Mississippi.
That's right.
When we say Black Power,
Black power.
Black Power,
Black power.
Black Power.
Black power.
There was no statement, there was a way of life. The crowd kept saying that for how long, about 15 minutes? They felt that. It's still ringing. The melody have not ended.
That's right.
It's still ringing. So answer the call. It is that simple. To answer the call. To build one protocol, one accord, one cadre, one community, one village. For Uhuru, for our independence, for our prosperity, and for our power as the people that we deserve, that we know we deserve. Black liberation, we don't beg, we don't plead. We let you know our lives matter. As captain and chairman and representative of the BYLC Black Youth Leadership Coalition Generation Vanguard, we understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You harm or try to step to any of our people, we will take your head off.
Yes, sir.
That's real talk. That's warrior talk. At the drum sounding. The drum is ringing.
Yes, sir.
Answer the call. You in the standing on the Mecca, your Mecca. Answer the call.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, we at the Black Liberation Movement, Mr. Mahmoud, BYLC, GV, is on that same path, that same melody of black power that was said by our ancestor Kwame Ture, Frank New Hamer, Medgar Evers, Aziz Muhammad. The lanes can continue. Ivy Wales. You stay in their land that they built, the foundation that they built. It's our opportunity now to carry on the torch. And saying they turn the torch, the young brother running around, we gotta pass that to him.
That's right. That's right.
It still can't be some one age group that know all the knowledge and understand what's going on and know the time, pass it on to me. I'm 23, finna turn 24 in a few months. These are my teachers. These are my brothers. Brother Abdul gave me an order, a command. As the GV, we understand the protocol from the elder, from the fellow comrades. When they give an order, we understand, we overstand. He said, stand by this man. My father, I call him my liberated father. My teacher, my commander. The protocol understand this. And our commander, General Head Counsel Baba Kareem, that's our elder. Even though I call him an elder, he don't like that, but he still calls him a warrior. He is a warrior elder. I'm the warrior class. So it goes from the ancestors to the elder to the warrior class. It got to be passed down. So it's our opportunity, it's our responsibility to pass it down, the torch of Uhuru, the torch for our peace, the torch for our prosperity. It must be passed down, but there must be communication to do that. From the grassroots down to the community. Let's open the communication to the community. Let's be out there. Let's show them hope. Our people don't have hope right now. Let's give them hope. Let's show them hope as one accord, one cadre. No matter what organization we represent your people.
That's right.
I made a post today earlier. If you don't have moral character, you can't stand with me. If you don't have the love, you don't have the moral character,
Okay.
you can't stand with me. If you don't have the love for the people, you can't walk with me. If you a punk, you can't lead with me.
That's right.
This is the war talk.
That's right.
This is real talk.
That's right. That's right.
The drum is ringing. The melody is still ringing. Answer the call. Power and peace. Uhuru.
Listen, did y'all hear him?